I don't have a good cold open joke lined up for tonight. That's probably going to be the cold open too, isn't
Darn it. We don't always need a cold open. It's all right.
it?
It
Hello.
happens.
Do you want to play a game? There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Welcome to another episode of House of Ghouls Horror Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Ian VanGhoul, joined as always with my best friend and co-host, Colby Does Horror. We were missing one tonight. Unfortunately, Crystal couldn't make it. We're missing her. We love her. Hope she's back soon. But I am rocking her on my shirt, so she's with us in spirit. But Colby, what's up, man? How you doing?
Dude, I'm good, man. Long week at work. I don't have to be back for until Wednesday. I got some screenings this week I'm excited for, but I'm more excited to talk to you and our guest tonight.
Absolutely. Before we get into that, if you don't follow us on social media, fucking do it. Facebook, Instagram, Discord. If you listen to the audio, hit that 5-star rating. And of course, pick up the merch. I got my merch. Did you get yours? Goreclown.com. I fucked that up. But the big news, filling in for Crystal tonight, is a very special guest. He's the author, one of our favorite authors. It's Aron Beauregard. What's up, Aron? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys? Big fan of what you do. Thanks for having me. I know I'm probably not as nice to look at as Crystal, but we'll have to do, right?
It's funny too, because when we do our three recommendations every week, at least almost one of us has an Aaron Beauregard book on their recommendation
Oh,
every
that's
single
amazing,
week.
dude. I'm honored. Thank you guys so much. That's amazing.
Of course.
You're
Yeah,
all
he
generous,
gets
I
the
guess.
he gets the notifications every week from it. So
Yeah.
No, dude,
So
that stuff's huge though. Like I can't get tagged enough. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate, sometimes people think, it's a common thing. People think, oh, am I like annoying somebody with a tag? No, like you're really like doing a huge service. And quite frankly, if there's an author that gets pissed off for that, don't read them, because that's just no appreciation.
And one thing I really like about you too is like you're very like in there with your fans. Like you're live almost every week. You're doing all these different author cons all the time. So you're a very like reachable author, and I love that about you too.
Well, funny enough, that was kind of like a secret to my success. I think that was one of the things that really helped me was putting in the work. A lot of authors tend to be very kind of like reclusive, and
Mhm.
it's a very solitude act. So it's understandable. Not everybody's as outgoing, but I look at it as like, almost like a part of the job. You want to be out there, you want to be interacting. Because like if you're not grateful that people are reading your stuff, then like, what's even, people are going to read it because they like it, but it gives an extra incentive and showing that appreciation, like, so
Mhm.
that was something that was huge for me, just getting on the internet and grinding a lot.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously, we are huge fans of Splatterpunk. And the very first Splatterpunk author we had on here was um PC3.
Oh,
If
cool.
if you're yeah, if you're familiar with PC3, that was actually my introduction to Splatterpunk. I had no idea what Splatterpunk was. Somebody told me to read a book called The Dark Side of Hell. So that was my introduction to Splatterpunk. I went all in.
Oh yeah, Pat's a great guy. Actually, funny enough, Pat helped originally. He's edited a few of my books
Mm.
back in the day. He helped edit Playground. Him and Christopher Triana actually helped edit that book. So yeah, I definitely got a good relationship with him. I see him at cons once in a while, and couldn't be more happy to see the success that he's
Mhm.
he's gotten as well. It's well deserved. Another guy that just kind of doesn't say stupid shit online, and he's a good guy. And you know what I mean? Like there's so many people that just fucking ruin the illusion of the art by being dipshits online.
Yes.
But that's one thing I'll say about Pat is he's just like he's there for the fans, and
Mhm.
he's dedicated to what he does.
Yeah, like especially like after reading a bunch, like I read a lot of his books, and like he has some fucked up stuff, and like actually talking to him as a person, like for the first time, was on the podcast because you and I have like gone back and forth quite a bit. But
Mm.
the first time talking to Patrick, it was so fucking, it was wild. Like he's such a genuine, like sweet dude.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's great, man. You know.
Ian, before we dive into everything, do you want to do the what we watched, what we read?
Yeah, absolutely. What'd you watch?
Again, I had a very slow week, but I watched Primitive War. I went and saw that last night. Today I watched, surprisingly, Evil Dead 2013.
No.
And I didn't rent it. I watched it on Hulu.
Oh man.
I watched Nobody 2 on Sunday. I took the wife. We had a date night. We loved the first one, really enjoyed that movie. And then I went and sat in a theater by myself on Saturday and watched Jimmy and Stiggs.
Hell yeah.
I went to the they were doing a road thing, the
Mhm.
Jimmy Stiggs movie, and they came out to Providence because I guess that dude that directed it is like from Providence.
Oh
Uh
yeah, Joe.
Joe, yeah, yeah, Bago, is it?
Mhm.
Joe Bago, right? Yeah. So that was cool. They did some cool stuff in that. I
It
liked it,
was
dude.
it was super
Yeah.
fun, and the backstory of how it took him 4 years to shoot the entire movie, and they shot it in his own apartment. I love that.
Right. I mean, like if you're looking for like just something that I think is like fun, you know what I mean, and splattery. And then like, not gonna give away the ending, but they do something really cool at the end,
I
And
loved how it ended.
Mhm.
yeah, and how it's shot on film too. It really
Mhm.
has that nice grain to it that so many movies don't have anymore, you know.
In my review, I said that it really felt like it's a segment, like when the very beginning and then the last 20 minutes, when it was the POV, it felt like it was a segment from VHS Beyond. Like it would have been one of the best segments in that movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Did you watch anything else this week, Aaron?
I've started watching the show, I think it's called Stalking Samantha. It's on what is it? It might be on like the Disney app or something. Or no, it might be on HBO Max. I don't know. I forget where it is, but I think it's called Stalking Samantha. It's like a three-part series about this dude that stalked this lady for like 13 years or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it's just wild. Like some of the shit that he does over the course of it very much feels like it should have been a movie, you know? But I kind of like that real life true crime sort of stuff. And so
Mhm.
if I see like a little mini series or something like that, I usually check it out. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Um, for movies recently, I did see the new Final Destination, and
Mhm.
I had fun with that. Like it's not, I thought it was just like it very much to me felt like a movie from the early 2000s. And that I thought that was refreshing. Some of the practical effects and
Mhm.
um, I really had a good time. Me and my wife, like you said, dude, you were in the theater alone. We saw it like super early. We happened to be the only ones in the theater, and we loved it.
I
So,
love that. Surprisingly, when I saw Primitive War last night, the theater was packed.
oh, really?
Yeah, and like I just learned about this movie like a month or two ago, and I didn't think anybody else was going to be there because it's like one of those smaller. I mean, it's a $4 million budget, but it's still pretty small for what they did with that movie.
Mhm.
But yeah, I couldn't believe how many people are in that theater.
That's awesome. So I watched Jimmy and Stiggs alone in the theater.
That's a
Absolutely,
depressing
absolutely
crowd
loved it.
right here, right? Like,
Like it's one of those things like I want every movie to succeed, so I want people to go see it, but I also love when I'm the only person in a theater.
Yep.
Like it's just so chill. But yeah, absolutely love Jimmy and Stiggs. And
Before Jimmy and Stiggs, did they play the trailer for Shelby Oaks?
I don't think they did. They played the Hell House one.
Was it cool seeing your name on the Hell House
Yeah,
trailer?
and since I was the only one in there, I recorded it.
Dude, so the Shelby Oaks trailer, when that played, like I watched the trailer already on YouTube. I didn't do a reaction, but I watched it.
Mhm.
But watching it in the theater alone, it was kind of fucking scary, dude. Like it was super unsettling.
I don't think they played that one.
Like I remember like I was like making sure that like nobody else was there. I'm like, this is not really cool right now.
But yeah, so saw Jimmy and Stiggs, and then the three others this week were all video nasties.
Mhm.
The Visiting Hours, love that. Night Train Murders, which is literally Last House on the Left, but on a train. So it goes fucking hard. And The House by the Cemetery is my favorite one so far. Lucio Fulci, fucking
Oh,
rips.
that's part of his Gates of Hell trilogy, right?
It's the third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I loved it. So that's what I watched.
Sick.
Sounds solid.
So what did you read anything this week?
So I finished the Night Stalkers and then I started Benjamin actually.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
I think I'm only 3 hours in the audiobook, but I fucking love it already. It goes hard and I love like what it's actually about and what Benjamin is. Like it has me dying already. And I'm a big fan of Shane McKenzie as well, so I've been really wanting to read that one. I think Cleve was the one who introduced it to me like months ago, so it's been on my radar for a while. And then obviously talking to you all the time, it's been going up and up on my uh TBR list, so yes, finally getting into that one.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you for that.
Of
Um,
course.
Funny enough, with that one, like it was like we both had the same idea for a story about like just a bill that travels through the hands, and
Mhm.
we wanted to be like, oh, but like let's make it like like Pulp Fiction goes to hell, or like a Coen Brothers movie, but with some horror elements. So it was really fun. It was really a labor of love, though. It's a fucking long book,
Mhm.
but it moves, and that was the thing. We wanted it to make sure it moved, because
Yeah,
it goes a few different places.
it grabbed my attention instantly. Like I have ADD bad, so I that is a problem for me sometimes. But no, it grabbed my attention instantly. And I know it has the QR codes and everything to like watch like what's also going on with it, but I haven't gotten to do those yet. But the way I'm picturing it, it's like a fucked up Gotham City without Batman.
Yeah, a lot of people. I think that other people have drawn that comparison too.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
and uh, and yeah, the QR codes was wild. I'm doing that with another book that I'm working on that's probably going to release next year.
Nice.
But for that, the QR codes were kind of like fever dreams almost. Like, oh, it allows the reader to be open to interpretation of like what the message in the video is. We thought it would be a cool way to keep people like actively thinking without just like regurgitating shit that's on the page into a video all
Right.
over. That was one of the things we didn't want to do. But in the other book I'm working on with the QR codes, where there's like this will actually be like I wrote the book, and it's just so happened that certain sections of the book uh were like I didn't want to show it in the book, if that made sense. It was
Hmm.
just going to show the aftermath. It wasn't necessary to show what had happened at these junctures.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, this would actually be like a really cool fucking thing to put the animated shit of what happened into these segments. So it's a little different from Benjamin in the regard that like you'll actually be seeing shit that happened in the book, um, but you don't need to see it to get the whole story, if that makes sense.
Right. That's sick. I love that. I'm excited to see what next book you're gonna do it for as well.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's good. It's probably going to be Homewreckers next. And
Oh,
that
is
one,
it?
yeah, I'm a little worried about releasing part of that one, but we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely get into a question like that later. Um, and yes, I'm super excited for Homewreckers, and I really hope that I'm on your art team again for that because that's been on my radar since I saw the cover art for that. I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah, dude, you guys can both have arcs for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ian, did you read anything this week?
I did. So I'm finally finished Sierra's I'll Pray for You.
Hmm.
Um, because I'm terrible at actually reading books. So she sent me the audiobook. So I was able to breeze through that. Fantastic. And then last night I purchased the audiobook of Playground in hopes of trying to get all the way through it. I
That's a
almost
long
made
book,
it.
dude.
I almost made it. I have like 3 hours left, but I absolutely love everything I've heard so far. So
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
absolutely. But yeah, I've been slacking on reading or listening lately. So at least got a couple in this week. Is there
What's
anything that you've read lately, Aaron?
I got the Maniac comics from Vinegar Syndrome. They
Oh,
released these
yes.
like really nice Maniac comics collection. I guess there's 2 volumes. They're super fucking expensive, but I decided to splurge on them because they looked really cool. And that it's like the Joe Spinell Maniac. But
Oh yeah.
I love Vinegar Syndrome so much, everything they release.
yeah, dude, it's like right over here for us. Like it's in
Oh,
Connecticut, so like it's about maybe like an hour and change drive for me to get there.
I
But
love that. Are you a fan of Terror Vision? Are you familiar with Terror Vision?
maybe explain it to me a little bit, just or
They do a lot of they do a lot of re-releases of old stuff as well. Like they did that big box set of Rumpelstiltskin. Um,
oh
I'm trying to think of other stuff they do. I can send you like their page to see like all the cool shit they do. They do like
oh, but
vinyls
it's
of old
kind of like
movies.
Vinegar Syndrome. It
Yeah,
sounds
it's
right.
just a different, and they do a kind of a different style of movies as well. It's a lot of like fucking like out there, like bizarre movies.
Mm.
But yeah, I was gonna tell you when you're in Chicago, if you want, I could take you to Terror Vision because their spot is fucking awesome, and it's right next to the famous Music Box Theater in Chicago as well,
Oh, cool.
which is
I
not
think
far from Bucket of Blood.
yeah, I'm gonna be there with Shane, so I'm sure he would love to see that too.
Oh hell yeah, yeah! I'm excited to meet Shane then too.
Oh, you won't be after you meet him, but
I love
basically,
that.
like me and Shane just cut each other down constantly. That's all we do. Yeah.
It's kind of like what it seems like with you and Volpe too. I love Volpe.
Oh, that makes one of us. Yeah.
See, I love this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think we're gonna do our physical media stuff next week. Unless Aaron, did you buy any physical media or books this week?
Um, the most recent one was probably those Maniac comics.
Mhm.
I did buy some Donald Goings books too. Like it's kind of like old crime shit. One of them was called Dope Fiend. Uh, so I like that kind of like old pulp crime. That's
Mhm.
what's from like probably like the 70s or something like that. But
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Ian, is there any books you got?
I did not get any books. No, I just have a
Just
whole stack full of movies that I'll save
yeah, I
for
have
next
so
week.
many fucking movies that I bought.
oh, I got the Birds too, Land's End, which is like I totally forgot there was even a sequel to the Birds.
I didn't know there was.
Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome released it. They'll dress up any crusty turd in a nice box and bend you over for $50, and that's just
Absolutely.
Yes.
and I just take it,
I bought, or when Vinegar Syndrome was in Chicago 2 or 3 weeks ago for the horror convention. And like, I love this movie so much. Like, it's not good, but it's called Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. And Vinegar Syndrome had a copy of it, and like, it was an instant buy. I didn't even look at the price, nothing. I was like, yes. It's so bad, but it's so fun. It's just one of those just over the top gore violence for just to be over the top. And it's just so
Yeah.
fucking funny.
I don't think I've seen that, but I feel like I watched a movie of a dude and then looked at the director and he directed that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like, so I think I seen one of the director's movies recently because I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's one of them. All right.
I can't even remember who directed it, but it's so fucking fun and stupid.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those are great. I love when you're not going to take it too serious.
And as like
Um,
a physical media collector, that's just one that like is a great piece to have in the collection.
Agreed. All right, are you ready to dive into our main topic?
Yeah, absolutely.
This probably kind of works better because I have so many fucking questions.
Have at
So,
it.
Aaron, when did you like decide like that you wanted to be an author? Like, did you plan this as a kid? Did you go to school for writing or anything?
No, dude, I went to public
No.
school. I fucking barely graduated. That's why I say, like, if I could fucking do it, like, you could do it, anybody could do it. It's just a matter of like, you have to be obsessed with it, you know?
Mhm.
You have to be obsessed with it and you have to be committed to getting better and you have to be committed to finishing. Um, and I think like, you know, it's it's just like when I started, I was just writing like short stories and stuff. Um, I wrote a short story in 6th grade that actually it did win an award at the school, but the school I went to, it's like, you know,
I went to
like,
school in the boonies, so I
yeah,
understand.
it was pretty wild, but winning it was cool, but not at that point. I wasn't like, oh yeah, this is definitely what I'll do. I had no idea what I was gonna do. Like even well into my fucking 30s, I was just coasting. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of hate my job, um, all this kind of shit. But I if that's what I try to tell people. Like if something keeps like resurfacing in your life, you know, um, it would be wise to go all in on it one time at least and really give your maximum effort. Because that was the thing with me in writing was like most people don't become like great writers in their 20s, you know what I mean? Like they're out partying, drinking, doing all crazy shit, you know what I mean? And that's what I was doing. I was on party mode for like a decade and a half. Uh, but I don't take anything away from that either because like you get a lot of that life experience, you see a lot of crazy shit. It really seasons you as a writer, in my opinion. And then when you calm down, kind of, and you get into that, early to mid 30s, hopefully you calm down at that point. Uh, and then to me, that's kind of when, I started going back to it. And um, it started with an old podcast that I did. And I was writing like these stories that, like, and I don't know if you ever seen Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Great show from back in the day, and the concept is just that you're presented with 4 stories. You got to pick if one was true or false or what you think it was, and they reveal them at the end. So I was doing that. I was like producing short stories in an audio format. Some were based off actual events. Most of them were fictional shit that I was just writing. And I just was like, man, I really enjoy like writing. I've written like 4 or 5 of these. Why don't I just write 10 and I can roll them into like a story collection, And so that became my goal. And I had actually written a novella before that, but just did absolutely nothing with it, because I had no idea what to do with it, you know. Um, so yeah, that was kind of how it evolved for me. So really there's just massive gap where, little spurts of writing would resurface along the way, but nothing that was like I never had that aha moment until I decided to publish that collection and physically held it in my hand. Then it was the light switch moment right there.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
that. Now, splatterpunk is a very, very fucked up genre. It's definitely not for everybody. And for someone to have so much success with this genre, like you're kind of like the goat right now. Like, do you like embrace that at all? Like, do you feel that?
I do appreciate you saying that. There's a lot of people that came before me to sort of pave the way, but I understand the perception, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But for the current time, you see somebody's book everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And so you have that perception, of course. And Ed Lee just retired the other day. Like I'll use Ed Lee as an example, been writing since the 80s, you know what I mean? And like things were so much different back then for those writers where it wasn't like it was for me when I
Right.
started, where you can get the people behind you yourself, they had to get gatekeeper approval essentially, you know. So it's a much harder road back in the day, submitting your ideas, hoping somebody likes them, and crazy shit that we write. Most people are like, you're a fucking psycho, dude. Go fuck yourself. Um, so yeah, I mean, that was a lot of Chris's early submissions. Chris Triana, I've talked to him about it too. A lot of his early submissions were like, we think you're a great writer, but this is fucking insane. Like we can't print this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But now that's the great thing. The gatekeeper's dead as long as you're willing to take that burden on of producing it, of learning, of not being afraid and coming out of the dark sort of to promote yourself and being creative with that too, not just fucking posting pictures of your book. Um, so to answer your question though, I never get too big of a head. I never fall into my own shit. I never try to like read a bunch of positive reviews. And at the same time, I never try to like read a bunch of negative reviews because what's worked for me has been writing from the heart, just doing the shit that I think is cool.
Hmm.
And to me, I never cared if anybody read my stuff. Am I grateful that they do? Absolutely. Like I never thought I'd be in this position, and I'm so grateful and humbled. But I would have been doing these same books even if none of them had fucking picked up, just because it was something I became obsessed with and enjoyed, you know? So that's kind of a long-winded answer, but I think you get what I mean.
No, it was fantastic. Like, and no, like how you said, you don't let it get to your head. I definitely agree. Like, you're a very humble person. You love talking to your fans, like we talked about earlier. Like, you're like for an author, like someone to like really look up to, and I love that about you.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Yeah. And I try not to be one thing I always try to do is like there's so much divisive shit online, and it's in any community that you go into.
Hmm.
But I try to never be that wedge. I don't ever I want to be the escape for people. I want to be the person that brings people from all walks of life to the same place. Um, and keep sort of the escapism alive for them. You know what I mean? Because like there's so much shit that everybody goes through, and it's like
Hmm.
this. It's like you never want to fucking hear your favorite movie direct. I mean, some people do, I guess, but I personally don't want to hear my favorite movie director go on a fucking rant about politics or something like that. I just want to fucking have my horror as my escapism, dude.
Yep.
So
That's exactly why we never talk about politics. I never talk about politics on my page. Like, my page is about horror, and that's all it will be about.
yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with having like, political beliefs or like
Mm-mm.
supporting causes that you think are good. But I just think like you can do both without
Hmm.
sort of commingling them. And, because some people, just want the horror experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no matter
100%.
what you say, you'll piss off one side or another. So it's just,
right. And it's like I catch enough shit for like the content of my books, and it's like that's the only outrage that I want. I want the outrage over the work, you know what I mean? Not me as a person or how people perceive you, which that's a whole nother can of worms, right? Is like the misinformation online, the shit talking, the
mhm,
libelous comments. And that's another thing that comes with the territory though.
mhm,
Right? I don't ever sit and complain about it, you know what I mean? Because that's literally just part of it. But at the same time I can understand how the same time where I draw the line is when people are saying shit about my readers. Say
mhm.
whatever the fuck you want about me. I could care less, dude. I had a very difficult fucking life. I've been through tons of shit, dude. You're not gonna affect me. You know what I mean? But don't fucking shit on these people that are just doing their 9 to 5 and escaping in a horror novel.
Mhm.
It's fucking ridiculous. That's the shit that truly pisses me off. But
Yeah, but no, I love that about you as well. Like, you get so many trolls. Like, I think it was you that like you told me like people like sent you death threats and shit for like the stuff you write.
yeah, dude.
It's
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy. Like, Ian's getting a lot of trolls lately. I've been having trolls for a long time, and like I love the trolls. Like, without the trolls, like my page wouldn't fucking be where it is. So it's
Right. It's part of the game, dude.
like they're pieces of shit, but keep it coming. Like, I love it.
Right. And I wrote an essay in the Playground Deluxe edition. So like after the book went viral and everything, I came out with like a hardcover deluxe edition and I wrote an essay in it called If They Want You Dead, You're Doing Something Right.
Hmm.
Because it's the truth. If anybody fucking cares that much, about a fictional story or movie or whatever it might be, you've done your job,
Yeah.
you know? And you just have to be like, in our business, we cover a lot of taboo shit. So it's like you just got to be kind of willing to take that heat. And I think to a degree, that's probably why all of us are successful at this.
Hmm. And like that's what like you said, very taboo, and that's what like my most popular videos are like when I talk about the fucked up movies or when I talk about the really fucked up books. So like I was running out of movies, so I was like, I'm gonna start getting into splatterpunk and see how that goes. And like I'm not saying it ruined my experience for like other books that are not extreme and fucked up anymore, but I definitely don't enjoy them as much. Like it's hard to like get into it when I'm used to it and having fun with like all these like fucked up scenes, like the explanations of like certain things.
Yeah.
Like I think I read Scary Bastard and then went to Clown in the Cornfield 2, and I love Adam. And like I love Clown in the Cornfield 2 and the first one, but I was just like, man, where's the fucking gore? Like, when's Frendo gonna fucking like really fuck somebody up kind of thing? But I mean, I still love it. I can still appreciate them. But yeah, like Splatterpunk is like, there's no turning back now for
It
me.
ruined you, dude. Yeah.
100%.
It's
It
like,
kind of did.
that's like,
It really
you know,
does.
it's like, oh, you just went down the porn rabbit hole and you clicked fucking 70 pages deep and you're in some funky shit now. But yeah, no, dude, it's funny because we do have readers that come up to us at our tables when we're doing signings, and they're like, I just can't even fucking read Stephen King anymore. You
Mhm.
know, like you ruined it for me. Like they'll literally say that shit to us. Um, but yeah, it's fun. It's kind of fun, you know.
Yeah, like it's like I was never like the biggest fan of Stephen King's actual writing. That might be a hot take, but like I loved it. I loved If It Bleeds, a couple of his others, but there's so many like books I DNF'd just because like I don't need like 30 pages of explaining a leaf or something like that kind of
Yeah.
thing. But no, and like this community I fell into with you, Volpe, Triana, and like I'm meeting a lot of these like indie, like very indie, like splatterpunk authors like Rob Nelson. Like Rob and I are like very close. Like Ian and I, like we talk every day. And I read his book before I knew him, so it wasn't biased or anything.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I fell in love with Rob's book.
Yeah, no, I've seen it shared quite a bit.
Hmm.
And credit to Rob because that usually doesn't happen normally with the first book, you know. Usually you don't see it that much. So he's doing something right. He's a good kid. He did I think I did send him an arc of Playground and he was really kind enough to
Hmm.
do like a video for me and stuff. So uh yeah, he's good, man. Hopefully he keeps on. I think his presence online too is a lot aligned with kind of the stuff that, you know, we do, which is great, you know. It's a no bullshit sort of thing. He's in it for the love of what it is, you know.
Yeah, he's a really smart kid too, and like what's funny is like he can't watch like fucked up movies, but his book has some like really like fucked up shit. So it's like funny talking to him about that. He's like, no, I can't watch that one, or I won't watch that one. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude? Like, and I know he's gonna listen to this too, so no, he's definitely a good guy.
Yeah, we love
But
Rob.
that's a good segue into like, do you have any like movies that have like inspired any of your writing?
Um, you know, I think maybe like subconsciously, you know. I don't ever like actively watch a movie and be like, yeah, you know, I should write a book like this, but maybe like subconsciously, I think
Mhm.
probably like stuff I saw when I was younger, you know. Like I saw Pet Cemetery at a very young age, and that's a very like heavy concept and disturbing, you know, film to see when you're a kid. Um, but you know, I take most of my influence from my life experience. And just like my brain is always just fucking rattling on
Yeah.
constantly ideas, constantly like little seedlings that sprout into stuff. I mean, my phone's full of notes, you know. So most of it is just like, you know, a bit of the fucked up shit you see when you're, you know, going through life as a young man,
Mhm.
turned up to 11, plus a ton of imagination. You know what I mean? You have to have an imagination. And it's strange because, you know, some people, there are creative types and there are some people that aren't as creative, you know. They're great at other things, sales, whatever it might be, you
Mhm.
know. But yeah, I feel like explaining imagination sometimes, as simple as it sounds, it's so important, you know. Just having your mind wandering all the time.
I feel like I'm asking everything, Ian. Am I cutting you off for anything?
No, no, you're good, dude. No, I was curious, like when you started writing, was it always splatterpunk? Like obviously you
Yeah,
love
like if
horror, so
I
you, yeah, you want to
evolve.
get into horror, but like was it always just like you're gonna write splatterpunk, or was that something that kind of evolved into splatterpunk?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I started like with extreme violence immediately and like fucked up sexual stuff like in it immediately. Like sixth grade, that was like I wrote a story called Zombie Child. It was like co-authored by me and this other kid. It's kind of just like writing back and forth on these several sheets of paper. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's about a guy who kills a girl at school because he wants to date her, and then like fucks her corpse. You know, he thinks the corpse winks at him at the wake, and he goes and fucks the corpse, and then like a baby manifests out of the dead woman and tries to like hunt him down and shit. And so yeah, that was sixth grade. And then ironically enough, I saw a movie anthology, and I can't remember the name of it, when I was in my early 20s. And that was one of the stories. Like that was essentially like what we had wrote in that story was like the setup for the movie. And so it gave me like this weird validation. I was like, oh shit, like that was an idea that I had when I was a kid, you know, like long time ago. And I mean, I think the movie was made even before me writing it. So it's not, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like it's cool to have like maybe one of your ideas kind of show up like that, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
that's
cool, like
awesome.
a kind of a full circle moment. Like obviously like the person didn't know who you were or anything, but it's cool like seeing something that you thought of way back then and then seeing it so many years later.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, all right, so maybe some of my ideas are worth it. And of
Yeah.
course, I just went on to drink and abuse drugs for another decade, and that wasn't a sign for me, you know. But you know, like most people would be like, oh yeah, maybe I should fucking go hard on this now, you know. Like
Yeah.
not me, dude, not me.
So before, because you're a full-time author now, correct?
Yeah, I've been full time for about like close to 4 years now, I think.
Oh, Jesus. That's awesome. And you said you're married too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is like, does your wife read your stuff before like you send it to the editor and everything like that?
I talk through like, you know, God bless her. I fucking talk through all this shit to her usually. Like, I just need, for me, I'm a person who just kind of needs to fucking say shit out loud
Hmm.
sometimes. And then as I'm saying shit out loud and like rambling, the fucking gold just falls out, you know. And then I'm like, oh, wow, there it is, you know. There's that piece, and like, so she will listen to me. She does read my stuff, but she doesn't like when I get ARC copies, I'll usually have her give a read of it. And
Oh, okay.
you know, if she sees like a typo here or there, she'll do it. But she also is very awesome and listens to all my crazy ideas. So
I
yeah.
love that. So you have a very strong support system at home then.
Oh yeah, my wife was really the one that pushed me to publish, you
I
know.
love that.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, you know, sometimes it takes somebody else. So sometimes when I see that person that like sort of needs a nudge, you know, sometimes, you know, you can have a catastrophic impact, you know. And now look at Playground, you know what I mean? Like that book alone, that book by itself has sold like over 140,000 copies now, which is insane for indie book. Um, and none of that would have happened if she didn't push me, you know.
Yeah. And then are you do you self-publish or do you go through a company? I can't remember.
I do everything myself, yeah.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
like we have
self-publishing.
what we Bad Dream Books, which is an imprint that me, Dan, and Chris established. Um, and but yes, we do everything in house. We don't print other people,
Mhm.
because that would be, you know, that's a whole nother rabbit hole, really, of like being a publisher. Um, but we ensure that our brand has good quality, you know, that our books are made of good materials, properly edited, shit like
Mhm.
that. So like we align under that essentially, that branding of Bad Dream Books.
Yeah, like your like when you buy like books, like if you buy the physical copy books or any kind of merch, anything from Aaron, you get the coolest fucking like packaging when you get your mail. It like I've saved two of them now because I've had two different, so I saved them both. Like I'm not getting rid of this.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I think, and again, that's like if you're going back to like, you know, if you love what you do, you should take pride in every
Mhm.
element of it. You know what I mean? Every chance that you get to make yourself as polished as possible, and give, not only that, but give the people what they want. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, you got to kind of take those steps, you know. And branded mailing's huge. We have all these people who open their packages online and film it. They're kind enough to do that. You could have a shitty fucking plain envelope, you know, or you could have something that's really impactful, and that when somebody sees it, they're like, dude, I fucking want that, you know?
Yeah, it's so fucking cool. Like just everything you guys do, like your like art, your cover artwork, like it's so fucking cool. And I didn't know this until I read the arc for Child of Divorce
Mm.
because I I've never been like a big like hold the book reader. Like I got kids, I'm always fucking busy. So I've been an audiobook guy forever. And then I read the arc for Child of Divorce and I'm like, dude, there's fucking like artwork in the middle of this book, like every few chapters. So I was like, I asked Rob because I saw Rob's collection of his AB books. I was like, do all of his books have artwork like that? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, you just fucked me up. I went and bought so many fucking books, and um, I'm I think the first one I started like physically reading was Wet Market, and I'm on part three or the no, I'm on the fourth story right now. And yeah, I love the artwork you put in the books. Like it's cool visuals to see while you're fucking reading. I just think it's such a cool thing.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, because I'm a huge fan of that. You know, I'm just a fan at heart, especially, you know, you guys, we all love the fucking horror movie covers, you know,
Mhm.
these awesome 4K or Blu-ray DVD covers with the slip boxes. I
Yep.
love all that art, you know. So to me, it's like I want illustrations in there. I want to support real artists, not the fucking shitty AI crap.
Yep.
Fucking any, I'll say it right here, any fucking author that's putting that slop on the front of your book, you should be embarrassed and you should just fucking quit. You should quit if you're doing that because you don't care. Because you don't care.
Yeah.
You've told your reader that you don't give a shit about them. And I don't want to hear the excuses. Yeah, I'm going my rant right here real quick. I
Go
don't
for it.
want to hear the excuse of like, oh, I don't have money, da 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 da. Well, how many cigarettes you smoking? You know, how many apps do you have on your TV? When you want shit bad enough, you fucking sacrifice. I worked extra hours. I cut back. I did whatever I needed to make my shit as cool as I could, you know, and
And look
using,
where you are now.
that's what I'm saying. Like the people don't, some people don't want to do the work. They want to do what's easy, right? And it's a slap in the face to the readers putting that fucking slop on a cover, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's a couple people in our community as well like that. Obviously, I'm not going to name names, but like they read Wikipedia pages instead of watching the movie, or they use ChatGPT to write their scripts for reviews and shit. And like it's very obvious. And there's somebody that has like almost 300,000 followers that does that, and that person's just a cancer.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you can sleep at night half-assing it and you think it's not going to catch up to you, eventually it will, you know?
Mhm.
Like it might not be today, it might not be a year from now. Eventually your poor work ethic is going to catch up with you. You know, you should be doing the shit, in my opinion, because you love it, you know? Not as a cash grab. I never did it for money, you know? Uh, am I happy to do it for money now? Yes, but I'm not
Mhm.
going to, you know, cut corners with this hokey ass fucking video shit. It's just a shame to see how many people fall into it, you know. But it, you know, it's their choice if that's what you want to do, but don't expect to be respected.
Right.
People who go
Mhm.
hard on this shit.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it sucks because AI has ruined like a lot of things for like artists, but it's also made people so fucking lazy.
Yep, yep. But you're right. It has taken a lot of money out of the artist's pocket,
Hmm.
you know. And you have incredible fucking illustrators out there. You got somebody like Justin T. Coons who fucking hand paints these gorgeous horror covers, you know, sits there, he reads your fucking book, thinks about it for months, dude, and fucking puts it together in his head, sketches it out, and you can tell he just really cares. You know what I mean? Like and you don't want to work with somebody like that, you want to fucking put a prompt into a computer
Hmm.
and represent yourself with some horse shit. Like what is wrong with people, dude? It's wild.
Yeah, and like that's like besides your writing, that's one thing that really sticks out is your fucking cover art and like just and like I'm new to it now, but the artwork in your pages, like I said before, but yeah, you can definitely feel like the love you put into everything, like the from the packaging to the fucking actual book and your promotion, like how you go on and talk to your fans weekly.
Yeah, dude, that's a huge thing. Of like that, and again, I understand writing is a solitary thing. You know what I mean? And not everybody is like outgoing. Um, and when I worked in a corporate environment, I fucking hated doing presentations. I hated it because you know why? I didn't give a shit about anything I
It's
was
not something you
presenting.
love.
I hated it. But here's the thing, you should be willing to put yourself out there and grow and go through those growing pains. And again, this is just my opinion. Maybe not everybody feels this way, but in my opinion, if you're doing something you love, don't you want to take that next step and do the thing that's maybe a little bit uncomfortable and grow from it, you know,
Hmm.
rather than because we see all this creativity put into the story, right? And then for so many authors, when the book comes out, it's oh, it's over. And to me, I'm sitting there saying, no, motherfucker, it's just beginning. Like this shit is just starting. Now is where you got to get creative and kind of like, you know, come up with how you're going to get it into people's hands. How are you going to create interest, you know? And I'm not afraid to fail, you know?
Hmm.
And I'm not too good for anything either. There's a lot of people that will be like, yo, I ain't doing that. You know what I mean? You know, if you think you're too good for stuff, then you know it's going to be a hard road for you. I think you know.
Yeah.
But that's again, there's other people that have no fucking online presence that make a living off of writing, so it can be done. But you know, the odds of that happening significantly lower.
Yeah. So what was it like when Playground went viral? Like, did you just wake up one day and it just like fucking blew up?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind honestly, it's kind of a downer because and I'm not saying this to get pity or anything. My dad was in the process of dying
Mhm.
while that was all going on. So like he was in home hospice. We were estranged probably, you know, for many years. So I was returning back to kind of put shit back together before the end.
Mhm.
And so while all this insane success is happening, I'm going through this really emotional, fucked up thing, you know, and I'm staying over there. I think I stayed there like 2 weeks while it was all going on. So I didn't really like I was seeing it happen, but it's like I wasn't really like fucking registering it, you know, because like it was like kind of a haze. If you guys want to hear more about that, the essay at the end of Wet Market kind of talks about that time where like my dad was passing and the book was going viral. And that was extremely difficult too, because you have all these fucking trolls coming out of the woodwork and just shitty people attacking you
Yeah.
while you're going through this fucking horrible time, you know? And again, it is part of the business, but it's just like timing like that is very difficult, you know? Because it's about so much more, like you realizing like it's all about so much more than just like these fucking petty, hateful comments, you know, when you're seeing someone go, you know? So it was a very challenging time, a very magical time. But I don't really think I ever digested it properly. I'm still
Mhm.
kind of digesting it in a way. But yeah, dude, it was fucking nuts, you know? The book had over like I think at that time like, you know, it climbed up to like 5 million views very quickly. And before we knew it, in a few, you know, the span of a week or so, it was like 21 million, 22 million views or something like that.
That's fucking crazy.
And it was just pure chaos. But I could tell you one thing that's kind of an interesting note is that the slob had gone viral nowhere near to the extent of Playground, but
Mhm.
it had gone viral, you know, well before that, years before that. Um, and I was not at that time in position. Like that's the book that allowed me to write for a living, was The Slob.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the one, because of the popularity. And then the
Mhm.
sequel also helped a lot too, Son of the Slob. But when that book went viral, it was a smaller virality, but it was really good. And
Mhm.
I looked at my payouts for the first time and I was like, man, I really got a fucking shot at quitting my job if I want to. Like if I want to shoot my shot here, you know? And then I heard other people in the industry kind of say, it's all ebbs and flows. If you don't take your shot at a peak and go for it, you know what I mean? You're never going to do it. So luckily my wife supported me on it. I fucking absolutely crushed it. Ended up making way fucking more than I ever did at that bank, you know? Like it's not even close. And but to the point is that I wasn't ready for virality when the slob went viral. And what I mean by that is like, sure, I was selling signed copies of shit online via direct messenger to people, and I was keeping names in a spreadsheet and shit like that and mailing stuff out. Um, but I didn't even have an audio book of the slob when it went viral. I only had paperback and ebook.
Mhm.
So I probably lost I would estimate at that time might have lost like 10 to 15 grand, maybe potentially, by not having that out. And then who knows how much I lost based on not really having an established store, you know. Now I've put my store is very visible in all of my books. People are very well aware that they can go there after they finish an audiobook, an ebook, whatever it might be. Um, and so when that next wave of virality hit, and it was even 10 times more, to have all these things in place, it set me up in this business, you know, for as long as I want to go, essentially. So that's important, in my opinion, kind of having your ducks in order so
Mhm.
that you're prepared for success.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. And if you're wondering the website he's talking about, it is abhorror.com, and you can go there and get a badass shirt like the one I'm wearing if you're watching this podcast right now. I had one of my videos go viral when I was wearing this shirt, and so many fucking people asked where to get it, and I was like, yes,
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
of
That's awesome.
course, of course.
You're looking good in that.
I always wear like black, but my wife said it was so weird seeing me in like a light blue like this, but she was like, I kind of like it.
Well, you know what's wild? We're horror guys, right? So it's like every fucking shirt's black.
Mhm.
And pretty much every shirt I've ever done has been black. And I was like, you know what, dude? It's a fucking summer release. I was like, let's fucking go baby blue here.
That's funny that you say that too, because I tried to get two other shirts. I can't remember what they were, but they were both sold out. So I was like, oh fuck it, I'll just get the blue playground. And I fucking love it.
Yeah, dude. It's funny, right? Like sometimes we just have to be forced into these different ones, but it's kind of nice in the heat though. If the heat's banging
Yeah.
down on you in a black shirt, it's like, fuck, dude.
I mean, I'm an introvert and hate going outside anyway, so.
So has anyone reached out to you about making movies based on your books?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a couple of options. I've had many people reach out. And as you go through those experiences more, you can start to kind of sniff people out a little bit pretty quick and be like, all right, is this person legitimate? Or is this just like a film student that's never made a movie that's like, hey, dude, I want to make Playground, like, and it's like, well, okay, I appreciate that, like, you enjoy it enough to where you'd want to do that, but like, you can ask a couple simple questions, like what preparation have you done to kind of let me know. And pretty quickly some of them won't respond you know but there's more often than not, it's a lot of bark and no bite with these things, particularly like with the type of shit we do. You kind of got to have somebody that's willing to go out on a limb a little bit. So I've come close a few times and I'm still in some negotiations right now. But my advice to anybody who kind of gets approached for an option is just don't hold your breath.
Mhm.
Go into it under the premise that it's never going to happen. Um, so if it does, on the off chance that it does happen, you can celebrate it, but Um, don't be that guy that's sitting there adapting your shit into a script for a movie that's never gonna fucking be made. Keep writing your books, you know? And that's the thing too, like, you know, unless I have a good deal in place, signed and ready to go, I would never fucking like work on a screenplay or something like that because it's not something that you can monetize, you know? That's the
Yeah.
thing. Actually, I started writing screenplays, really. The first thing I finished was a screenplay with another kid that I worked at the bank with. So we would write screenplays together. Um, and that was when I was like, oh yeah, there's really nothing you can fucking do with these if you know, if somebody doesn't want to make it except have your friend read it and be like, give you a pat on the ass, you know? But
If this question will be for everyone, but I know mine and Ian's answer are going to be the same. If you can have one book be turned into a movie, like a full production movie, what would you pick?
full production. I mean, full production, I'd probably have to go Playground because like it's so fantastical and it
Mhm.
looks so cool. And like I would do practical effects. I would not want CGI shit, you
Oh,
know.
absolutely.
I mean, obviously there'd need to be a little in some spots, but overall I want practical stuff. But yeah, I think just because that either that one or Wedding Day Massacre would be really cool too.
Ian?
As much as I would love to see Playground on the big screen, I would love even more to see Scary Bastard.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite. I love that book.
Oh,
Scary
thanks. And
Scary Bastard was my choice too, but my second would be Wedding Day Massacre because I think Wedding Day Massacre would be perfect if it was turned to film.
yeah, that one was actually optioned. And it was like the talks went pretty far, but it was and you know, even the people who had optioned it, like they had made a movie not even that
Mhm.
long ago. So it was like it, you know, it seemed like a possibility, um but yeah, Scary Bastard would be super fun too, just because you know who doesn't love a good slasher, and you know he's got kind of a unique look to him, so I just
Yeah,
imagine it would look pretty cool, you know.
I think that is like we have Art the Clown, who's our newest big horror icon. I think we can get that dude to turn into a horror icon if it got fucking turned into a movie.
100%.
And it
I
goes
just,
fucking, it goes hard.
it's so gnarly. I
Yeah,
love it.
definitely some of the stuff wouldn't make it to screen, you know.
The wooden spike, most likely.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, I've listened to that audiobook twice now. I wish you can get royalties for like how many times someone listens to an audiobook.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Because like the biggest thing on this podcast, like my favorite movie is Evil Dead 2013, and I have the physical copy of like on Blu-ray, I have Steelbook, I have DVD, and every time I watch it, and except for like this past time because it was on Hulu, but it's not the unrated version. But every time I watch it, I fucking rent it on Amazon for like $3. And it's
Oh yeah.
not to like help give them royalties. It's just because I'm too lazy to get up and put it in my
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
PS5.
We're such pieces of shit. That's what it tells me. You know, because I do the same fucking game. I'm like, yeah, I got it somewhere. You know.
I love that movie so much. Like Ian was supposed to meet Jane Levy, who starred in Evil Dead, obviously, and he was gonna because I couldn't make it to the con that they were at, so he was gonna tell her that like I alone pay for her fucking mortgage every month.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
unfortunately, I couldn't talk to her, but I did talk to Lou, the guy that plays
Yeah,
Eric.
yeah. The
So
guy with yeah, Eric who gets fucked up so bad that movie.
That's awesome, dude.
He thought it was hilarious too.
mhm. Yeah,
Man,
speaking of
so
movies, what
oh,
are some of your like favorite horror movies?
that's what I was gonna ask.
Ah,
Oh, I mean, I go all all types of horror shit, I would say. Something I watched recently that I really liked. I like that movie Found. Um
Oh yeah.
and
mhm.
there's a movie, the movie within that movie is called Headless.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Uh so I did
big
get I
big fan.
yeah. Oh, you like that one?
Yep.
Yep, that's a good one, dude.
Headless
I have that
rips.
one, and I actually have like the figure. There's like an action figure that they released for it, like a limited run of it.
Oh
Uh
damn.
and that's really cool, you know.
Uh obviously you're familiar with the me making my wife react to fucked up shit.
Yeah,
Um,
she's
I
great.
made
She's
her
funny,
I,
dude.
I made her watch Headless one time.
What a good husband there.
Dude, she's the trooper that lets me do all that shit.
I'm lucky because my wife likes all that stuff too, you
Mhm.
know. Like I really enjoyed it. You know, I'm just kind of like jumping around here. Like it's tough to actually like be like, oh, that's my favorite. Like if I was forced to pick a favorite though, like I really like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yes, so
Because
good.
it's like a very realistic movie. It's very gritty. It's very fucking like simple and straightforward, and I think that's why it's so scary. You
Hmm.
know, the scene that earned it the X rating with the home invasion too. Uh, and I love the thing in the beginning where they're kind of showing the aftermath of the murders and just overlaying the audio of the murders on these parts. So there's some really interesting things that were done with that movie. Um, that's a really good one. More recently, I really enjoyed The Sadness that was like a Shudder release.
That's
That
one
was,
of my comfort movies.
that's a good one, right?
My wife
So
loves
good.
that one too.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, fuck
Yeah,
man.
in
I
my
love
big
all the
stack.
slashers too, you know.
Yeah, slashers are always so fun. I actually just watched a new one that I forgot to put in my watch list. It's called Night of the Reaper. It's a Shudder original. I don't even know the release date. I think the guy said the trailer releases on Monday.
It comes
Hmm.
out in September.
Okay. So you know what it is. Did you watch it yet?
No, he just sent it to me today.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, dude, I loved it. It was like a new take on like a slasher. It was really cool.
Hell yeah.
But
That's awesome. I'll have to check that out, dude. You know what's one that is like, oh, it's just one of those movies that you have like you probably shouldn't even watch it, sort of thing. Have you seen Charlotte's Net?
no, I've heard a lot about it though.
Yeah, because there's like a bunch of real shit in it.
Hmm.
But, like it's just a lot. I didn't even I got pretty far and then I did stop at one point and I was just like, what am I doing? You know?
Yeah,
What
I've
am I
had
doing this for?
like whenever I do my fucked up videos, a lot like I always get at least one comment like, "What about Charlotte's Net?" Like I still like I don't even have anywhere to find that movie.
It's on like I don't know if it's called Subroxa Underground.
Hmm.
They have all kind of like weird fucking shit on that website. Like pretty hard to find stuff. So I mean, if you're sick enough, you know, go for it. But I don't recommend it. It's not anything you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is glad I did this. You know?
Dude, fucking I watched a documentary the other day and I like it made me cry. Like it was so fucked up. Like I regret watching it and it was in like the first 45 seconds I almost turned it off. But do you remember hearing about that McDonald's massacre in like 1986?
San Ysidro.
Yep.
It's like isn't it 77 minutes?
Yeah, did you watch that one?
Oh yeah, when they show
Dude,
all the footage inside.
when
Yeah.
they showed the baby laying in between the two parents, like that was one of like the worst things I've ever seen.
I just have like a fucked up joke, but I'm like, don't get yourself in trouble. I'm just like, let me just not do it. No, it's super fucked up though.
It's so bad
Yeah, I know, dude. How
because
they spilled all those French fries. You
they
know.
showed they showed everything in that documentary and I was like, "Holy fuck." And like I got little ones, so like just seeing the baby, that it kind of fucked me up.
Oh, dude, that was insane that they had that footage. And
Mhm.
that guy, he's done a few documentaries. He has another one on Parkland. Um, he has one on there was a subway shooting as well. So like if you I don't want to say enjoyed that, but you know, like if you found it interesting, his other documentaries are pretty good. They're not as graphic as that one.
Mhm.
So like you'd probably digest those better, you know.
Yeah.
Um, only thing I'll knock him for is like sometimes the audio is a little out of whack on him, but the actual like information and people like tell like you saw how he had kind of had the eyewitnesses really go into
Yeah.
detail. He did that with Parkland too, and like some of that shit was like I won't spoil it, but it's some of the details are like insane, you know.
I've watched a couple on Parkland. I wonder if one of his was one of those was his.
Could be because I don't think there's like a ton on that, but like
Yeah,
as far as like a mainstream documentary, but
like mass casualty events like that, like mass shootings, like it's one of my biggest fears. So like I love like digging in and like learning about that.
yeah, dude, it is fascinating, you know, as far as like how, particularly like the explosion of them too, you know?
Mhm.
Because there's a documentary too. I think it's called Going Postal. Um, and it's a documentary that started really like with a lot of the earlier mass shootings, which took place at post offices, you know, and
Mhm.
that's like where the term was coined and everything. And there was quite a few that happened at different post offices initially, but yeah, this I'm always fascinated by like, you know, what makes people tick. How can you
Yeah.
get to that point, you
Yeah, the
know?
fascination definitely.
Yeah, it's just it's sick, dude. Like what can push somebody to that extreme, you know? It's
Yeah.
wild, dude.
So that's like the most fucked up documentary I've ever watched. What's like the most fucked up movie that you've watched? Like not like the stuff with like real footage like Charlotte's Nest. Like is there any movie that's like kind of like hit you like holy fuck, this is fucked up?
Yeah. You know, I tend to not really like be super affected.
Mhm.
I'm so desensitized, dude. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
really does kind of take like I mean like, you know, I'll say like, you know, like August Underground Mortem, you know, more so for like just like are you really gonna fucking scream for an hour and a half, you know? Like
Yeah.
and then it's just killing people, you know? Like
The
that's pretty much
bathtub
all it is.
scene, the bathtub scene, and then the scene with like the little headless toddler in the shed in Mortem. That's like Mortem. That's what makes Mortem the most fucked up thing for me. Just it's stuff with like kids like that. That's when I'm like, fuck, I hate that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you know, you're a parent, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why it always hits me so hard, just because I got fucking little ones, man. I
Are
fucking
are you a parent, Ian?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay. So does that shit affect you too?
Sometimes.
not as much as me.
Yeah, not like the extreme stuff doesn't. It's more
Yeah.
so like the more, I don't know. Not that that shit's not realistic and doesn't happen, but like it's like the documentaries that about real shit or like the movies that aren't horror that
Mm.
like I don't know, that hit me more. That makes sense. But
That's
Yeah,
like
like
extreme is just extreme. Like it's just
mhm.
fucked up. I dig it.
That's honestly though why I was hesitant at first about Playground. I'm like, fuck, man, it's about a bunch of kids. Am I gonna be able to handle this? But then I loved it. I thought most of it was fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, there's a couple sad scenes where like you didn't want that kid to die, but like I fucking loved it. And then going into Child of Divorce, like I knew what to expect. I'm like, this is a prequel. Like, probably none of these kids are gonna make it out. I'm not gonna spoil if they do or don't, but I don't know what it was, but I thought Child of Divorce, like I enjoyed that way more than Playground. I really liked Playground too.
well, that's you know, I think that's the thing with writing too. It's like you just continue to grow. You always
Mhm.
continue to evolve. If you ever get to a point where like you're saying that my best book isn't my next book, you know, might be time to hang it up at that point. Because you know, in my opinion, you know what I mean. Like my next book is always the fucking best one, dude. You know,
Mhm.
because I'm excited about it and I feel like I'm applying things that I learned evolving, you know, and there's so many different things you can do with writing a book and so many
Mhm.
different ways to approach it. Um, and really like with Child to Divorce, you know, I put a little bit of stuff that I saw in my childhood into each of the kids in the first Playground book, you know. Um, and one thing that I didn't really explore was like my parents' divorce in 1992 when I was a kid and what it felt like, you know, when the family's dissolving and you're at a very young age and all you want is just for your parents to be together, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And and I was like, because I wouldn't have wrote a prequel or a sequel to the book if I didn't truly believe that it was justified, that there was something more to tell. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like that's why the book took so long. This came out 3 years about after Playground, and that's really just because like I wasn't going to do it unless I had an actual solid idea that was different and also like had its own unique emotional elements and my attachment to it, you know? And that's kind of why it took so long. If I wanted to just cash grab off of it, I could have easily cranked out another book
Mhm.
right when Playground was going viral within a 1 year period. And I'm telling you, like, I would have caked off of it, you know, but I wouldn't do that to my readers. And to me as an author, it's just a disrespect to the craft to do shit like that, you know?
I really respect that because like you can tell like there was a lot like even though Child of Divorce was a lot shorter than Playground, like I felt more attached to the characters. Like my parents divorced in 1993, so I was 3 years old when that happened. But like reading like the divorce and shit too, like what they went through, what the kid was feeling, I'm like, fuck, I kind of feel this right now. And like how I was saying earlier, like physical books, like they actually take me a bit to read. But I think I finished Child Divorce. Like I couldn't fucking put it down. I finished it in about 24 hours.
Wow. That's crazy, dude. That's awesome. That's a great compliment, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's like, and that's the thing. If you're not writing about shit that you're emotionally attached to some extent in, I'm not saying the entire book has to be like that,
Mhm.
but you like that's what makes good writing, in my opinion. Putting pieces of yourself in it, cranking up the imagination and cranking up the intensity, you know, and then
Yeah.
have this thing that is wild and fantastical and people can really enjoy those elements, but there is some relatability there, you know, and I think that's so important in a book, because if you get that emotional attachment, people want to fucking review the book. People want to fight for the book. And be
Mm.
like, fuck you, you know, talking shit about it, you know, like, sure, you can have your opinion, but I loved it, you know, or so it's very cool, you know.
Yeah. And if you guys are obviously if you're listening to this, you're probably familiar with Aaron and Playground. Like Geraldine is one of the most diabolical fucking women villains like of all time. Like you have to put her up there. And Rock, like what you did with Rock at the end of Playground, I loved, and I love how you like incorporated more of like his internal feelings, how it leads up to um the first book, obviously. So like there's just so many things you did in this one that I really liked. And you did like a lot of different things. Like the first one felt like a straight up like Saw movie, but with kids. And this one, like it had a different tone. Like I don't know, I still can't decide what it was, but like you did something different and I loved it.
Yeah, dude, and that's the thing, right? Like, like, I think if you're going to do a follow-up to a certain intellectual property,
Mhm.
you never want to do the same thing again. So, like, you know, one of the things with this book, it was like I put in the promo on the hardcover, you know, no parents, no promises, you know, meaning like the first book, the parents were involved, right? We don't want to just do that all over again. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And in a way, you figure out sort of how the motivation for the parents came to be, in Child of Divorce. But and also, right, if you're going to do a prequel, you know you're bringing back three of the villains, we'll
Mhm.
call them, right? We know they can't die, right? So what do we need to do? We need to learn more about them, learn unique things about them, right? And then I was also like, well, I need to have a new villain then too, you know?
Mhm.
And so I think I created one of my favorite villains that I've created, and I think she's right up there with Geraldine, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I loved it. And then like enough
Completely
like
different though,
yeah,
really, you know?
completely different. Like when that character was first introduced, I'm like, no fucking way. And it worked. I
It's insane,
loved
right?
it.
Like it's like, yeah, it's
I
fun.
don't I don't want to spoil anything for Ian yet, but dude, it's so fucking wild and fun.
Oh, I'll be checking it out very soon. Don't worry.
And like obviously I'm not going to spoil this either, but like yes, like you said, the parents aren't really involved in this one, but the one adult that does get involved for a short period of time, that affected me the most out of like any of the deaths in the book.
Pretty fucked up, right?
The
Right.
the whoop.
Yeah.
I was like, no, out of anybody, why'd it have to be him?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you can play with, try to, you know, you try to play with people's heartstrings a little
Mhm.
bit in these books, and hopefully you can do enough. Like, I don't want to sit there and fucking gush. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I want to do just enough with that character to where the shit is moving. You know what I mean? And we're not stagnant. You
Yeah,
know, but we get enough about this character to where we could feel attached. You
yeah, and
know?
that's the thing. Like, he's not in a lot of this book, but when he
No.
does, he makes a very big impact.
It's a big impact, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm glad you feel that way because that's sort of how I felt too. And you know, um, and that's the thing with writing too. You have to foreshadow it properly.
Yes,
So there's like a lot of foreshadowing in this book. I really thought about the foreshadowing a lot and making sure that, there's breadcrumbs for people to pick up on as they progress through, for like those astute readers that really like that sort of thing.
I love that. When we stop recording, there's something I want to tell you about that too.
Sure, yeah.
But damn, it's already been an hour and a half.
Well, that went
We
by fast, huh?
I think we have to make a part two with Crystal
Oh,
when and
absolutely.
have Aaron back on.
Yeah, she's a huge fan as well.
And then
For
yeah,
sure, dude.
actually
Yeah.
actually that would be cool because we could have because Ian's gonna read or listen to Playground 2 very soon. So is Crystal. So then we could actually do like a full episode on Playground 2, which is your newest fucking release.
Yes, sir. That sounds great, man. I'd love that. It's very fun to talk to you guys, you know.
Yeah, like we've been talking for a while, and like I've been meaning to ask you to come on the pod, and then you said something about it like a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Fuck yes!"
Yeah, because you've done like quite a few videos for me, man. So it's like I want to reciprocate and however I can, and like I appreciate you guys letting me onto your platform, because that's
Oh,
huge for me too.
dude, I appreciate that, man. You're an awesome author. Like I love all your shit. Like I'm trying not to glaze too hard, but you've been a huge part of like you and PC3 are like the biggest part of my splatterpunk journey, and I couldn't be more appreciative of you guys.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. It's a fun journey, man. I'm just glad you found it
I just
because
hate that it's ruined me for other books.
I kind of like it, but
And dude, I'm pumped for when you come to Chicago. I'm definitely gonna come see you.
oh hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that'll be fun. Last
Cause
time I was there, I had a great time.
yeah,
Bucket of
cause
Blood's an awesome store.
I
So
was really bummed that I missed Books and Brews because I had a few friends there I really want to meet, like Timothy King, James Kane, Volpe I really wanted to meet. So I was really bummed I missed Books and Brews. And I met Adam already, but I fucking love Adam Caesar so goddamn much.
oh yeah, it was great. I got to catch up with Adam for a while. We
Dude,
had a
him
few
and his red
drinks.
Crocs.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, because I always say this too. Adam's one of my inspirations, really. He's been writing really long time. I met him a long time ago at an event called Terracon in
Mhm.
Providence. And I had read a few of his books in a collaboration that he did with Shane McKenzie and Christopher Ruffty. And it was a book called Jackpot. And that was something about reading that book that they all collaborated on. Something about reading it just like clicked with me, and I was like, man, I feel like I could write like this. You
Mhm.
know, like this writing speaks to me for one reason or another. That's just how I felt.
Yeah.
Um, and so it was cool to meet him back in the day, and to now be like, peers. It's fucking wild. Like
Yeah,
I
like
went to his film premiere in New York, and that we had a blast over there too. He's a great guy.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I saw the picture of you guys all with Adam at like the premiere, and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" I was like, "Aaron's friends with Adam too. That's fucking sick."
Oh yeah, dude. He's a great guy, man. It's been
Yeah.
uh it's been cool to be able to hang out with him these last few years at a few of these events.
Did you read Influencer?
I have it. I have it right here, but I haven't read it yet. But when you say, you're happy that a certain guy made it,
Mhm.
Adam's that guy.
Yeah. Like everyone talks about Clown in the Cornfield, loves it and everything. I'm like, dude, I think Influencer is like 100 times fucking better. Like you need to read Influencer.
That's awesome. I'll have to read it. I have it. I got a signed copy from him at AuthorCon.
Hell yeah. Before we jump off, you ready to do our three recommendations?
Absolutely. You
Do,
kicking it
do,
off?
do you want me to kick it off? I gotta pull it up. My three recommendations for this week movie is Strange Harvest. This is one I've been talking about for over a year because I was lucky enough to see it at Fantastic Fest last year, and it finally got picked up. And not only picked up, but a fucking wide theatrical release. So, yes, go see Strange Harvest, directed by Stuart Ortiz.
Oh yeah.
And then my band, they just released their newest album this week. It's like my third time recommending them, but Signs of the Swarm. The album rips. It might be the best deathcore album of the year. And then for a book, I have to because he's here, but Wet Market.
Oh,
I'm over halfway through, but I just got done reading about the aliens in that one, so I'm excited to finish that up. So yes, Wet Market goes fucking it goes hard. And like the first story is my favorite so far, but I love it. And then the second story, fuck, dude, just the whole book so far, I love it. Like the second story where it goes, it's so fucking gnarly
yeah,
and
that one's
satisfying.
insane. That's a rabbit hole. That one.
Yeah. I love Wet Market already. But yes, those are my three recommendations.
Oh yeah. Do you have recommendations, Aaron?
Sure. I got for a soundtrack, well, or audio, I got the Psycho soundtrack on vinyl. I got
Oh
that
yeah.
at Vinegar Syndrome. And that's awesome for like writing particularly. So I like to listen to like horror soundtracks and shit like that when I'm writing. Also listening to an old Brother Lynch Hung album, Season of the Sickness, from like 1995. Um, I'm gonna say for reads, the Maniac comics, because they're awesome, dude. They're very, very splattery. And I'm gonna mislead some people here and send you down the path to the Birds too, Land's End.
I love it.
Yes.
Speaking of that though, real quick before Ian, have you ever thought about doing like a comic or like a graphic novel?
Yes. Um, I actually like have friends that have done like Shane's done comics before,
Hmm.
and we've discussed it a little bit, but it's just like there's so many projects. Like we're both so busy. Like he's writing movies, doing books, comic books, like so I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, you know, you got to kind of choose jack of all trades sort of thing or master of
Yeah,
none. So I try to stay in my lane unless it's like a real certain solid opportunity, if that makes sense.
I love it.
Oh yeah. And then my recommendations movie, Straight Edge Kegger.
Yes.
My book is I'll Pray For You by Sierra Webb.
Hell yeah.
And my band, keeping with the punk rock theme of Straight Edge Kegger, I'm going Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, hell yeah. Love it.
Hell yeah. So yeah, that'll about wrap it up for this week. So Aaron, thanks so much, man, for taking time out to come hang out with us.
My pleasure.
Dude,
Thank you guys for having me.
seriously.
Congratulations on all your success. And, you know, I really admire your approach.
Dude, I appreciate that. Thank you. And yeah, like Ian said, thank you for taking the time. Like I don't scroll TikTok a lot, but like whenever, like I don't know what it is about your voice, but whenever you're on live, like I can just listen to you talk about fucking anything for hours. Like I wish you narrated your fucking own audiobooks.
Oh, dude, you know, I'd just be cutting out the fucking breathing in between sentence. That would be all I could hear. Because I used to do some of it, but it's also super fucking time consuming.
Yeah.
So it's like, as much as I'd like to do it, like, I don't know really how to properly master it. And like, and it's like, if I delegate it to somebody, I can be working on new books at that time. But I
That's
appreciate you
true.
saying that, you know.
Yeah.
It is something I would like to do, but you know, I just sound like I'm gagging on a cock sometimes when I read, you know.
No, that's all right. But yeah, again, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
No problem. And if anybody is interested in like signed shit, you can check out AB Horror. That's where like all my merch and signed stuff is. Pretty much everything else is available wide on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Audible. Yeah, so that's if anybody is interested. Oh, and I do a Substack. So if you want like signings and shit like that, or just like the latest updates, it's at AB Horror on Substack. That's probably the best place to get updates, you know.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And also, oh yeah.
I'll include all the links, website, social media, all that in the show notes. So everyone watching and listening, you'll be able to find everywhere that Aaron's at. So
Thanks,
check that
brother.
out. Yeah. What are you gonna say, Colby?
Oh, I was gonna say go follow Aaron on AB Horror on TikTok and Instagram as well.
There you go. So
His
yeah,
lives are hilarious and fun.
I try. Yeah, thanks for coming on that live that other time with me. That was fun.
Oh, dude, like I was sitting on the couch and I opened Facebook. I was like, oh fuck yeah, Aaron's live. And I was sitting next to my wife and he like sent me an invite like right when I joined. I was like, what the fuck? I was like a deer in the headlights. I was like, Aaron just invited me to join. So I like ran into the room. The kids are out there fucking yelling and playing, but I was like, I can't not.
Right? Put the lube away, dude. Come on.
But yeah, go follow Aaron. You need to read his books if you have not yet. Audio books, fucking physical books, like they're must reads. Like I have not read one book I don't like from AB yet. So
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks, man.
But yeah, that'll wrap it up for another week. So again, make sure you check the show notes for all of Aaron's links, all of our links. Hit up the merch store, goreclown.com. Last thoughts, anything to say before we get out of here, Colby?
go visit the playground.
Aaron, last thoughts?
I would just say, keep it tight, keep it tight.
Hell yeah.
Keep it tight.
And I'll say, Crystal, we miss you. Can't wait to see your face again. But
We
for
love you,
another
Crystal.
week, this is House of Ghouls Horror Movie Podcast. We appreciate you. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week.
What if everything you know is someone else's dream?
There you go. That's it.